These are creepy TikToks that will make you rethink your whole reality.
I don't even have a voice box. I had to borrow this one. Don't turn on the light.
Are you going to kill me?
The children would rip out their insides to hide the miniature TV sets that were too big to swallow, only to be found dead by the returning caregivers the next morning.
I think the scariest thing about jail was...
I'm back, it's your boy Fittie to the E, and today we're watching this compilation together, so make sure to grab your water, your popcorn, your ice cream, your fruit snacks, whatever you want. Just remember to subscribe and like the video so you can get pushed to more people, and if you like my chain, check my link down below.
We are currently receiving countless reports of an unidentified hostile organism that we'll refer to as alternates. Until we have a complete understanding of the threat, it's important to stay home, lock all doors and windows, and have access to a loaded firearm or any ranged weapon at all times. You will know if an alternate exists solely based on their physical characteristics. If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
Run away and hide, run away and hide. Oh. Bro, I don't even know what I would do at that point. I'll probably just look at myself and be like, honestly, bro, one of us gonna make it out of here, and it's definitely not gonna be you.
The most famous serial killer in history. In 1888, a man terrorized the streets of Whitechapel, London for 12 weeks with brutal and gruesome murders. He mainly went after prostitutes and had a neck for slit throats, mutilated bodies, and on one occasion he was said to have eaten the kidneys of one of the victims. One very particular thing about this case was that the victims were gutted in a very precise way, and it was speculated that he might be a medical professional. There are only 5 confirmed victims. However, it's said that there were many more. To this day, he was never found, but Jack the Ripper remained.
Nah, going around your city killing people has gotta be crazy. Like, what really motivates someone to do that? And it's crazy because some of these serial killers, they just do it for fun. Like, literally just for fun. They're like, oh, you know, I'm bored today. Let me just GTA lobby this whole city.
I would have peed myself if I saw this. So Sale was a paper delivery boy years ago, and what he saw on his route is terrifying. Before we dive in, if you love ghost stories, make sure you check out my podcast. This week's episode is all ghost stories from listeners. So when Sale was a paper delivery boy, he always delivered to this one house in his neighborhood where an old woman lived. She was not in great health, so she actually had given him a key so he could let himself in and leave the paper on the table.
You're bugging.
One day he lets himself in the middle of the day, and he sees that she's in her room lying in her bed fully asleep. This is not normal for her, so he calls to her, but she doesn't answer. So he puts the paper on the table and he just heads out. But the next day is the same exact thing. He comes into her house and she's asleep in her room, not moving and not answering. So he's like, okay, if I come back tomorrow and it's the same thing, I'm going to call for help. Except the next day when he arrives, she greets him at the door. And she's saying things like, thank you so much for delivering my paper. I loved seeing you around. I'm gonna miss you. And he's like, okay, that's kind of weird. So the next day he comes back to deliver the paper and there's cars all outside. So Sale runs up to a police officer and is like, what's going on? And the police calmly explains that the woman in the house had passed away days prior, and a neighbor finally noticed and called it in. So then who did Sale see when he went to the house?
That's a fact. Who did this boy see? If I'm being honest, bro, I'd have been like, yo, cop, I was literally just here 2 days ago and she was chilling. Like, what are you talking about?
The Teletubbies conspiracy theory claims that the show was inspired by events in a Bulgarian mental facility called La La Land.
Damn.
Psychotic children were purportedly isolated in dark rooms, and apparently 4 children who died on the same day inspired the characters in Teletubbies. Lala's facial disfigurement and 5 years of isolation inspired Lala. Tuate, a deaf, facially deformed child, was tied to the fence outdoors and frostbitten, inspiring Tinky Winky. Donka, starving and unwell, inspired Dipsy by lying in his vomit for days.
What?
Ultimately, Paulina fell into a fire and was roasted alive, inspiring Poe. So why are they called the Teletubbies? The children's main source of comfort were the television sets in their room. And when they got word that the mental institution was getting rid of them, the children concocted a plan to hide the TVs. The children would rip out their insides to hide the miniature TV sets that were too big to swallow, only to be found dead by the returning caregivers the next morning.
It's kind of crazy how these traumatic and very, very scary events inspired a child's show. Bro said they tried to fit the TV inside of them and ripped out their nah.
How could I sound anything silly? I'm plastic. I don't even have a voice box. I had to borrow this one. Don't turn on the light.
Are you going to kill me?
Nah, having your door randomly open like that gotta be one of the scariest things. Mostly if you're home alone, you're like, who the
This Polish woman is claiming to be the missing Madeleine McCann. But did you know there's age progression photos done of Madeleine that could help us know what she would look like today? In 2007, Madeleine was taken from her family's bedroom while they were on vacation in Portugal. And immediately the parents came under fire because they did leave the kids asleep in the apartment by themselves while they went to dinner with friends. This is the official age progressed photo of Madeleine to age 9, and this is the woman who's now claiming that she is Madeleine. And this woman does have some of Madeleine's signature features. Here you can see a black speck that looks like a pupil in Madeleine's eye, which is something they both share. She's also claiming that she has a lot of missing memories from childhood, but the eye speck does seem to be her most convincing argument. But German prosecutors actually believe that Madeleine is no longer alive. And 2 people believe they saw this man carrying a small girl towards the beach around the time that Madeleine's parents first noticed that she was missing. But that being said, it's not completely impossible that she would be alive today.
I can honestly see how the other older girl could be an older version of Madeleine, but if I'm being honest, if she is eliminated and deceased, that's kind of messed up because that's like a little ass kid. And why would this grown man do that to this little ass kid? And that's exactly why you should be careful who you have your kids around, because of people like him.
If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
Bro's adrenaline is pumping. Bro, it literally says run away and hide. None of them ever run away and hide. They just go searching. They're like, oh shoot, I heard a noise. Let me check it out. Oh wow, it's me. Oh my god.
There are 5 different types of angels according to the Bible. The first one is the seraphim, who are described in Isaiah as having 6 wings. With 2 of the wings they cover their face, and with another 2 they cover their feet, and with the last 2 they're flying. Their whole role and purpose is to praise God in heaven, saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. The whole earth is filled with his glory. The second type is cherubim. These things are crazy looking, being described in Ezekiel 10 as having human features, except for the fact that these things are on fire, having 2 to 6 gigantic wings. They have a green crystal spinning wheel floating next to them, and they have eyes covering every inch of their body, including the wheel. And the craziest part is that they have 4 faces. The right face is a lion, the left an ox or a cherub face, in front is an eagle, and in back a human face. God placed one of these in the Garden of Eden in Genesis to keep Adam and Eve from re-entering, and the most well-known cherub is none other than Lucifer, the devil himself. The third type is archangels. Very little is known about them, and they're only mentioned a couple times in the Bible in 1 Thessalonians and Jude. The word comes from the Greek word archangelos, which means chief angel, so they're most likely in leadership roles over other angels. In Jude, we learn that the only archangel to be mentioned by name is Michael. He's the leader that we see lead the other angels to kick out Satan and his followers out of heaven, and the one in Revelation to fight off the dragon in the end times. So fourth type is warrior angels. These are shown in Revelation 9 as being an army of cavalry. The riders are described by John as having fiery red, dark blue, and sulfur yellow breastplates, and the horses they ride on have tails like snakes with heads on the end, and their own heads are that of a lion with fire, smoke, and sulfur coming out of their mouths. They're being led by the archangel Michael to fight off the forces of the devil in the end times. The fifth type is messenger angels. These angels are the ones that give messages to humans directly from God. The main one that we know of is Gabriel, as he was the one to give the message to Zechariah and Mary that they were going to have a child, even though it wasn't physically possible for either of them to have a child. Though we don't know what they look like, we do know that they were terrifying to behold, specifically Gabriel, as he had to say multiple times to people to not be afraid. And so next time your friends ask you how many angels there are, you can tell them that—
That's crazy, actually. Like, I actually kind of found that video quite interesting, Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, bro, so the type of angel that they say Lucifer was a cherubim, and you can kind of tell that that is probably one of the stronger angels, because just by looking at it, it got eyes all over its body. It was standing guard at the Garden of Eden to make sure no one comes back in. You could tell those are like the OP top angels. How I feel when no one can see my tattoos.
Walk like an angel.
Another one is crazy. Run and hide! Look at the dog.
You see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
You heard him. Run away and hide. If she goes and check it out, it's over. Bro, if that was me and I saw something like that, bro, I'm jumping through my window. I don't care how high I'm up. I don't care if I'm on the top floor, the bottom floor, the middle floor, freaking the Twin Towers. Bro, I'm jumping. Like, I don't care. I don't care.
You guys remember the scary story, The Creature in the Cellar? The story goes like this. There was a little boy named Tommy who was so utterly terrified of his basement. Anytime he was in the kitchen near the cellar door, he would scream and cry and kick and just want to leave. His parents decided to take him to see a therapist. When they asked Tommy why he was so scared of the basement, he just said that he always felt like there was a creature down there trying to get him. Tommy's dad said, "That's impossible. I go in the basement every day. I know that there's nothing down there." The doctor then told Tommy's parents to give him exposure therapy, which they basically said make him sit in front of the cellar door alone until he's not scared anymore. So that night, when it got dark outside, Tommy's dad nailed the basement door open, turned off all the lights, and lit a single candle, placed it on the kitchen table, and made Tommy sit in the kitchen alone in front of the basement door. That night, they went to check on Tommy in the kitchen and found that he had been mutilated and unalived. Nobody ever knew exactly what happened to Tommy, but it's safe to assume that he was attacked by whatever he saw living in the cellar.
Bro, I know the parents feel guilty as hell for that, bro. I know for a fact they feel guilty. Bro was just chilling there, you know. He was like, you know, I'm kind of terrified, but I guess I'm just forced to do this. And then parents came back, ha ha, how you doing, son? Gone. Eliminated. Head gone. Mutilated. Crazy.
What are some of the craziest things that people have confessed to at the end of their lives? Well, in this series, I'm going to show you some of the wildest stories I found. And I cover all sorts of spooky and true crime stuff on this page, so make sure you follow along. So this story comes from a woman who was helping her mother at the end of her mother's life. The woman actually lived in Europe, but her mom lived in China, so when she got the call that her mother wasn't doing very well, she made the long journey all the way back. And right when she gets there, her mother asks all the doctors and nurses to leave the room. She apparently wanted to be absolutely alone with her daughter. So the daughter's like, "What's up? Are you okay?" And the mom tells her she knows she doesn't have a lot of time left, so there's something she really wants to tell her. Her mother proceeds to tell her that she's not actually her biological mother. And obviously this comes as like a huge shock to the daughter, but it's nothing compared to what came next. The mother proceeds to tell her that when she was younger, she really wanted to have her own kids, but unfortunately she just wasn't able to get pregnant. And not only that, but she didn't have a lot of money, so going through an adoption agency wasn't necessarily an option. So she actually bought the daughter off the black market for adopted children in China, meaning she didn't know if the daughter's adopted parents gave her up willingly or if someone had taken her to put her on the black market. The mother actually passed away just shortly after that, and we haven't gotten any update from the poster if she got any more information on her biological family.
Ooh, that sent chills through my body. Imagine your mom's on her deathbed and she comes around talking about, yeah, actually, you know, you're not my daughter. Yeah, I kind of just took you from the black market. I'll be like, bro, what? But you can kind of tell that she had to tell her because it's resting on her soul. So I feel like that was like really the final thing that she wanted to just release before she passed. Oh, hey, Mom. You're home early. Hey, sweetie. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Let me text my brother. Your phone says you're out of town still. Oh. Who are you? You know how weird that would be? You see your mom, but she's looking at you mad creepily, and then you check her location and she's not even in the house. She's like 4 states deep down. I don't know what I would do, bro.
Oh no.
The abandoned hospital doesn't look so abandoned.
I am telling you, doing night security, it's gotta be one of the scariest jobs. Okay, so this photo right here, this was captured by Michael Hostin on the 3rd floor bathroom of a Dallas shopping mall. The reason he took it was because he's night security and he heard noises coming from his bathroom, but he was nervous to check the actual stall, so he sends a picture to his coworker. After he sent the picture, he eventually leaves the bathroom, but then gets a text where his coworker says, "Keep your weapon drawn and call for backup." He had no idea what he was talking about until he increased the brightness of this picture. It's not easy to see in the dark, but with the photo enhanced and slightly brightened, you can see somebody peeking over the top of that middle stall. Someone was in there, looking directly at him as he searched the bathroom. But even with a visual, by the time backup eventually came, whoever this was, they were gone, and we were left with this picture.
You know how scary that must be? That's probably on some Five Nights at Freddy's type stuff, because I was at nighttime security and then see some weird dude or something looking over at him in the dark. Oh no, I'd be terrified, bro. I'd probably be like, put your hands in the—
If you are inside your home with the lights out, do not look outside your window. Turn on your lights before you look through any window. Do not leave your home if you see a figure outside. Even if he is turned away, do not look at him. Lock all doors and windows before turning off all lights inside your residence. Hide in a small space and call authorities. Do not move from hiding unless you hear an unfamiliar voice. If you do hear a familiar voice coming from inside your home, do not move. He is inside. He is inside.
I be thinking, like, how do these creatures even get into their house? Do they have their doors unlocked? They gotta have their doors unlocked, because, bro, there's no way this thing can just teleport inside. And even if it did, the guy said run away and hide. Why you not running away and hiding?
It won't let me go outside.
Trying to communicate with the banshee. Why is it cracking like that? Bro, I don't know about you, but someone's getting a right hook. Like, as soon as it starts running to me, I'm like, what? And I'll be like, yeah! Banshee trying to mess with me? And look over at the Banshee's body and be like, loser! Record that, you know what I'm saying? Put it on my Snapchat story.
Photos with disturbing stories. Photo in abandoned building. They were not alone.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
The attic of the house.
I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime.
There was someone who doesn't live there.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. The first one, that one got me crazy because I was like, oh, you know, it's just a nice little back area. Boom! Someone's fat ass face just like, hey, how you doing? What would you do? Put it down in the comments. No way out. What is he locking up though? They're locking themselves in the basement?
It's down here. We got it. You smell it? Oh, it smells like shit, bro. Anything? There's a bunch of broken glass everywhere. Okay, we're gonna go. You go this way too. Stay close to me. Fuck.
Who's crying?
Dude, stop, stay by me. It was glass. Don't move. Where'd you fall? I know. God, you smelled it. Did you fart? It's winter time. Oh, fuck. Cover, stop. Alright, we're gonna make a run for it. The trap says you were dying first.
Oh, that's messed up.
Let's go. Shit. Hold on. Oh, shit, good. Oh, God. What?
What?
We gotta get the fuck out of here. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna... No, stop. Here. I gotta go.
Facts, he did lock them in. What the hell?
There's nothing there. Stay behind me. Stay right fucking behind me.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bad idea. Just chill out. Oh shit, it's still there.
What is that? What is that?
You got your phone?
No, I don't.
Yo, I can literally feel their just adrenaline. Like, what even was that? But first of all, he was dumb as hell for locking them in the basement. I don't know why he would do that. But if that thing is living under your house, and if that was your house, I'm gonna be honest, you need to like evaluate your living situation, because I don't know why you would have him, she, it, whatever that was, trapped in your basement.
Steve?
Nope. Man, how you don't know who's in your house?
Hello? Hello?
I'm not gonna lie, footsteps running towards you quickly like that, most when you don't know what it is, it makes it 10 times scarier, bro. Oh my god.
Humanity's Darkest Pictures. Part 5. The Shanghai Baby. On August 28, 1937, Japanese planes began to bomb Shanghai.
No!
They hit the city's train station where 1,800 civilians were hiding and waiting for evacuation, mostly women and children. Among them, the child in the picture.
Damn, that's a big baby, I'm not gonna lie. But he survived. You can tell that he got some battle scars, bro. That's messed up. Rubble destroyed around him. His family's probably gone. RIP that baby, man.
The men in black real. For decades, people have reported encountering these strange men after they witness a UFO. In many cases, they show up at witnesses' houses in vintage black cars to ask bizarre and intimidating questions. There's also something strange about them, as they appear to void facial features or are often sickly pale and act almost robotic with their movements. It's said that these are either government agents or aliens trying to cover up UFO activity. So,
do you think the Men in Black agency is like kind of real? Do you really think they go around intimidating and questioning people that have witnessed UFOs? I don't know. I know there's a movie about it, but I don't know if it's like an actual real thing. If you think it's real, put it down in the comments. I'm kind of curious about everyone's opinion on that.
The horror hidden in the photo. Cult.
I did not see that in the first one. What the hell?
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that one looked kind of scary. You know, they used to say like way back, I think in like the 1900s or the 1800s, they used to take pictures of dead people and post them up. So it'd be like their bodies and their face would be smiling in the picture, but they're actually not alive. That one looked kind of like one of those, I'm not gonna lie.
Are you sure? I don't think so. What's that? I told you I seen something! Quickly, no, I bet don't tell you now.
No, she dipped out of the house so quick.
Oh my god.
Wow. It's gone. No, shush, no. No.
Honestly, big round of applause to her. She saw the situation, she assessed it properly. She was like, oh, what? And before you know it, the camera flips back up, she's outside the house. I was like, yo, she ran out mad quick.
This is terrifying. Wait till the end.
Can you say hi? You say hi? No? You don't want to say hi? What was that? Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? What the hell? Hey you, come on, let's get out of here. So I'm still walking this trail and I keep hearing that same scream.
That's terrifying, bro.
This is so freaking crazy. I can't even imagine what it could be. Like,
It's definitely not a bird or some kind of animal.
It's getting closer.
What the hell? Alright, so I'm about a half a mile down from when I first started hearing the screaming, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but that definitely sounds louder. So I am pretty sure that whatever the fuck this is getting a lot closer.
I'd be calling the police.
Ugh.
Facts.
Okay, so I'm way farther down the trail, and that screaming is definitely getting way louder and way closer. Hey, have you been hearing that screaming too? What is wrong with you? Oh my god!
Yo, she even had a baby with her. That's insane, bro. I don't know if you ever played the game Destiny, but it was a really nice game. I liked it. They would have witches in the game, and the witches sound exactly like that scream.
You guys better get ready because the Anthill Kids story is the most gruesome cult story that I think I've ever heard. Hi, I'm Julie, and I talk about true crime, dark history, and all things spooky, so if that's what you're into, please give me a follow. So before we begin this story, I'm gonna need to give everyone a trigger warning times like 1,000. Even if you don't normally get disturbed by things like this, you're probably gonna get disturbed. Just a warning. The Anthill Kids was a religious cult led by Roch Thériault in Ontario, Canada in the 1970s and 80s. Roch had a troubled childhood. He played a game called Bone with his father and brothers, which basically consisted of them all sitting around the kitchen table wearing heavy boots and taking turns kicking each other in the shins. Roch's dad forced him to go door-to-door campaigning for the religious organization that he was a part of called the White Berets. Roch was very embarrassed by this, and other kids in the town would make fun of him for it. This is pretty much where Roch's hatred and resentment for religion began. In 1967, at 21 years old, Roch married his first wife, Francine, who was only 17 at the time. They ended up having 2 children together, and Roch's friends at the time described his behavior as becoming more and more erratic. It's thought that a major trigger for these behaviors was because he was suffering from a lot of health issues. He was diagnosed with severe stomach ulcers and had very bad abdominal pain, which led him to have like a bunch of surgeries. The surgeries didn't go to plan, and he developed something called dumping syndrome after his surgeries. Basically, the food that you eat moves through your intestines too quickly. After this, Roch lost all trust in the medical profession and started reading medical textbooks himself. He would constantly talk about his newfound medical knowledge with everyone that would listen. Roch turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with the pain, and this led to an addiction. He started to become very angry, especially towards his wife Francine. Roch started to have an affair with another woman, and then Francine wasn't having this, so she ended up leaving him. Roch ended up marrying the woman that he was having an affair with, and her name was Giselle. Roch then became obsessed with religion and health, which makes no sense because he hated religion. So he stopped drinking and doing drugs, and started eating healthier too, and then became a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. After joining the church, Roch started door-to-door campaigning for the church, which makes no sense because he didn't want to do it as a kid and it was embarrassing, so I don't know. He also gave sermons at the church and started to gain a large following. Roch went on a retreat with the church and went off on his own to go on a hike. When he got back, he told everyone that he received a vision from God, and then told everyone that he was a messenger for God. So he starts telling everyone that he's a messenger for God and that an apocalypse is coming. And he told everyone that he has powers to heal people. Okay, you're gonna have to come back for part 2 because I'm running out of time.
So bro kind of played this Jesus figure, but it's crazy because I was just thinking about in the middle of the video, like, this man had an affair with another girl and then married the girl that he was cheating on his wife with. In my opinion, if that girl knew that this man cheated to get with her, why would you marry this man? Do you think if someone cheats with you and they want a relationship, would you take that?
What the fuck?
She is not supposed to be moving on her own like that. Okay.
I've been hearing like knocking noises all day. It just sounds like something falling over. And of course, when I pull out my phone, it stops. So, whatever. Yeah, it's been sounding like that. Just a bunch of noise. I don't know if you'll be able to see. This is the outside. That
so
is
dark.
The car reflection. You literally can't see anything. And there's a tree in the street light. And it always sounds like it's coming from over there. And I'm honestly. Hi, Rosie. Wait, this is the shit I've been dealing with. Mommy. It's.
Oh my. Yo, her reflection scared the bro. I thought that was him. I thought that was it. I was like, yo, but now it's just her reflection. Come on, bro.
Have you seen this?
Oh, that looks crazy, bro. If that's real, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be terrified. Oh my gosh.
Bruh, that face though. So many of my comments have been telling me to go check out Source's new video, where he posted this. And while I was looking through my comments, I noticed that a lot of people have been tagging me in this video, which is the same video that Source posted, but it's missing the face. So of course I watched both, and I noticed that this person uploaded the video including the face. I'll tag them below as well. Let me show you it again. That face
looks crazy,
is beyond
bro.
creepy. Now, I noticed most of the comments on this video are of people asking who is the artist and who made this, which I'm sure most of us are wondering, considering this looks like a very well-made sea creature or siren, appears to be made out of silicone. I mean, it's super shiny, looks a bit plasticky. Again, though, it is very, very well made, that is for sure.
Facts.
At first, when I saw this, I was like, what the hell?
Facts.
Now, regardless if this was handmade, this is definitely more likely the creature that you would see compared to our common perception of what a mermaid would be. Like, imagine being lured in by the beautiful siren song of a mermaid and coming face to face with this. I've posted a couple of first-hand accounts of people that have come face to face with a mermaid before, or a siren. I've attached them in the description of this video. So let me know what you think. Is this real, or is somebody just trying to trick us yet again? Like, I so badly need to know who made this, where is it real? I just need to see this thing in person.
Nah, she's not lying though, because when I was looking at it, I was like, yo, what is that? It's kind of crazy how Disney like warped our perceptions of like these underwater creatures, because in reality, if we actually met up with a mermaid, merman, a siren, whatever you want to call it, they would most likely look something like that, not like this beautiful looking humanoid creature that just has a freaking tail or a fin. Just like, hi, I'm a beautiful girl with big ass tits. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell no. It's gonna be ugly just like that. So if you have mermaid dreams, just know it looks like that.
I think the scariest thing about jail was the uncertainty of it all. If they would have said to me, you're in jail for 92 days, or even 5 years, you got 5 years, cool, I do my time. But when you're nabbed and thrown in a cell without charge, you're like, well, how long, is this my life? Is this it now? Is this the end of the story? I'm just in this cell. And I was picked up on 29th of December. I went through this quick court case, but obviously Romanian court is in Romanian by law. So you're marched into this room, everyone speaks a language you don't understand for 15 minutes, and then you're marched off to jail. Look, what even happened? And they said, oh, here's the paper that explains it. I was like, that's in Romanian. And they said, oh, don't worry, you'll get a translation to English by law. I said, okay, that's fine. But because I was picked up on the 29th of December and there was New Year's Eve and holidays, it was 2 weeks before I even knew why I was in jail. 2 solid weeks I'm in jail. No one told me in English why I'm in jail. So they said, oh yeah, human trafficking. What do you mean human trafficking? Who? When? What? What is this? 2 weeks before I finally got a piece of paper, and then I realized what garbage it truly was.
Nah, that's crazy. Imagine being in jail for 2 weeks without even knowing why you're in jail. Me personally, I would have just escaped. Facts. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like the video and watch the next videos. Love you, boys.